Hi guys, it's me again, and this time I'm doing a voiceover, and I hope it's gonna be okay. Um, as I wrote here, I keeping my hands on the paper because it's too white and the camera won't keep focused, so that's why. Um, I'm starting with the face. This is a tutorial on hair, as many of you have requested, so I thought I would do it. Just had to have a face with it, so I'm starting off with a very light sketch, and it's very messy, and that's how I do my sketches, because if you are too tidy in your sketch, you won't get the flow you do with the messy one. That is my experience anyway, and I just tidy it up as I go, as I said before, keeping it loose in in the beginning, and straightening it out as I go. To show you all the kinds of hair thingies I do, I thought I would give her a very messy look, so that I could show you every hairstyle, or yeah, there is, well, that I draw anyway. And as you can see, I have these edgy kind of lines. I don't bow them all that much. I just have this kind of edgy, because it's easier, I guess, to be lining up the sketch lines where I will go, help lines. And I also think about hair as ribbons, if that makes any sense, because it's what's closer to you, and you can see that I almost like it's a ribbon when you see it, because it's flat and it curves under and over, and I make these light shadows just to know that this is under and over, because it can be a bit distracting when hair is all over the place. So I also use very line work when I do hair, and it kind of reminds me of when I do trees. Certainly the cartoony style of trees. I use lines that go in and out and together and apart. This will show more when I do it with ink in the end. Here you also can see the ribbon feel of it. And then I have a loose string that attaches and goes back and forth, just to keep it interesting and fascinating, I think. Although it's a lot of lines now, I do more when I do the ink part. I like lines, especially when it comes to hair. Here I try and show you how I do a braid. It's very simple when you sketch it up, and it becomes very easy when you do this kind of line up in the these helplines make it easy to do braids, because you have to have sort of a form and logical lines when you do braids, because you take the hair over and under, and you don't take any hair over and under. You do it as a line up, and it becomes this sort of a pattern. I have to turn it around because too much lines. I have to pivot the drawing, and it was easier for me to turn it around. It's not easy to keep the drawing in one place when you draw on a video. I constantly feel like I want to move the paper around. I try to not do that too often, but I have to sometimes. It's better to get some quality on it than keeping it straight, and I hope that's okay with you. You can see now it looks like a braid, but in the beginning it just looked like a pattern. And here I will show you some curly hair, the way I curl hair in an orderly fashion. When I have this kind of messy curly hair or big hair, I just draw the outlines. I don't show that here, but I did it in some of the mermaid paintings, especially the one with the big yellow hair. But this is kind of an orderly, curly style that is very cool when you make a lot of it. So I just thought I'd show you some, I think it's three curly lines. And if you do that a lot with the hair, it's freakishly detailed, and I think it's very cool. If you see that I kind of first just sketch up some some forms that goes the one way and the other way and the first way again, and you can see it when I paint and when I draw. And the lines here as well, I do that a lot. I like lines. And just the ending is like a tip of the hair, just curly as well, but the end and thin. Hair gets thinner when it comes down to the tips. You have to also be constantly aware when you take your hair under another piece of hair that you kind of connect it with something else on the other end. For me, when it comes to hair, I depend on the edgy lines at first, that it is, here I start with the line, ink lines, line work. Edgy lines and think ribbons in and out, and maybe just Google a ribbon and draw it a few times, and then just imagine that it's hair, and make some lines and draw it as hair. It would make a difference. Even though I make edgy lines, I think flow and motion through the piece. Even though this is not natural, that the hair is kind of ups and downs and all over the place and curly and straight at the same time. But I thought I'd show you every aspect of it. And it would be kind of boring if it just was flat hanging down. So, but I can do that as well if you want a more natural look. This is kind of more in the lines of the mermaid thing, when it's underwater and it's flowing up instead of hanging down. But just to show you the different styles I use. But this, of course, again, is what I do. You can do a lot of things. So I hope you maybe learned something. If you want to have me do something else, I would gladly hear about it. As you can see here, I draw every line. If I see something wrong or things I'm not happy with, I just change it with the ink pen, or I add lines to it as well. And to get that swirly look, I just take a part of the hair and make some swirly lines. As you can see, I do in the end, and I use a Microsoft. There I have the swirly lines. I use no Microsoft. I use a micro pen, Micron pen 08 here. There I use the swirly lines again. It kind of shows that some of the hair is kind of twisted, and it breaks through from all the others. Here also I do the swirly lines. Here you can see the ups and downs, and kind of breaking the pattern a bit just to make it a more lively drawing. I really hope you can get something out of this, but I understand if you don't. If I do a video and I would talk at the same time, it's very distracting, so that I forget to draw or I forget to talk. So I thought maybe a voiceover would be better, but of course then I can show you everything. But I hope you get something out of this even so, and if there are questions, just ask and I will try and answer as best I can. It's a really cool thing when you do ink lines on this sort of drawing, because it shows even more the pattern. And as you know, if you have followed me for a while, I love patterns and details like this. I just get lost in them, so even that makes me not really suitable for drawing and talking at the same time, because I get so lost in the drawing. I slowed it down, the video, because you can see more when I do, and it's not as fast as the other ones, so I hope that helps as well. And even though there's a lot of time, well, silence, maybe you will learn something more from this one. Yuck. I hate when that happens. Ink on my finger. That is not good. I ordered these micron pens from eBay, and I think I got some bad ones. Not really good. It's very strange though, because it's just like an ordinary micron pen. I don't think it is though, because it leaks, and I don't like it. I don't like to get dirt on my fingers. I hate that. You can see I move my hand a lot because I really don't like the angle. But for the ink part, I think I keep the paper still. What I do in the end here is that I draw the outlines a little bit heavier with the brush pen, and it gets this. I've done it a few times in my pieces, and I really like the look on ink drawings when it has this outline that is thicker. Some thick lines and some thin lines makes the piece a bit more interesting, and it really catches your eye and it makes it more contrast, and I sort of love it. I think I switched the pen here because this is also a micron, but it's not, I don't think it's real micron, because I ordered it, and what came home to me was the same colored pen, but not marks on it. So there's eBay for you. I just take all the forms and lines that I want a big contrast on, and to stick forward I draw those with a heavier line so it comes forward more. That is what I do here, and I think I will do that through the piece. One thing that I can talk about is that for the not competition but giveaway that I talked about in my last video, you have to share this channel, not anything else that I've done on social media, this channel, and you have to show me on the previous video, give me the link to what you have done, or else it won't be legit from the giveaway. So if you wanted to have an original painting by me from Mermaid, please listen to the rules again in the previous video so that you can do it right, because yeah, that's it. And thank you for watching. Probably will write that too, and I hope you learned something, and if there are any questions or suggestions or requests, please just let me know and I will see what I can do. Yeah, have a great day and soon weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye!